Hey, whoa boy, oh boy! I have so many things to talk about today. Today is the one of the day that is kind of funny and is kind of is concerning about addictions and what our world organization has to say about it. As you guys will see on the screen, that don't hate the players. Controversy over gaming mental disorder has been leveled up and kind of like maybe like a lack of evidence, but people seem to be concerned and more people talked and survey and all that. This kind of identify gaming as a disorder, not as an addiction. So welcome to my channel, guys. My name is Sama Ninja. So we're gonna talk about this crazy disorder. Oh. In my opinion, it should not be categorized as a disorder. It should be categorized as a type of addiction. There's a difference between addiction and disorder. So basically, as you can see on the screen, this article is provided by Psychiatry Advisor. This article written by Tara Hayes. So based on them, first part, let's read it from the beginning. It's that when the old organization decided to include gaming disorder in 11th edition of International Classification of Disease of ICD-11 in the mid 2018. It did not set a long debate whether electronic gaming considered a kind of addiction and not to be pathologic, but based on this you guys can kind of see that this like they classify some kind of addictions, but they categorize it as a gaming disorder and label up as an international disease. Um, it can be classified as a type of addictions, but I don't know about disorder and then to put in a disease category because it depends on humans, man. I know it's a psychological thing. It depends on humans. The mental, you know, dopamine and all that. You know, if you learn a psychology, you will know those things. It's which makes people thrill for doing something more and more, and you get addicted to it. Um, Also, with the further ado, also said that with the further decision further inflame the controversy, polarizing the research who have argued the opposite side, leave many others try to make sense of limit evidence at the most practice level. Many research note that lack of a company guidance for the editions. Then it said we don't have appropriate diagnosis tools, so they don't have a correct tool to analyze is this gaming is addiction or not. Who did not really bother to define any symptoms said by Christy Ferguson. So he's saying we because of this we don't have a tool, lack of evidence, but we still put in a gaming as a disorder without the evidence, basically. Like, come on, really get the evidence, validate the evidence, my friend. Then categorize this as a disorder. Don't put it before that. You need evidence. Okay, right judgment is your hypothesis. Their hypothesis. If you learn about science, you learn hypothesis. So their hypothesis should be correct, and trial and error of the test should be run, and then you will know if this addictions or not. And then it's is it about the gaming that make them different from shopping, exercise, food, or sex and other things that people do excessively, or is that the individual have difficulty regulating a fun thing? It's I would say it's not. It could be because of that, or it could be based on my experience of playing game too much. I would say this does not like it's not that you don't have control of regulate the fun thing. It is like your own decision, and you just get so captivated by playing more and more. Like let's say Fortnite example, You play more and more Fortnite, you get addicted to it, and you do not look at the time, how much time you're spending, how much money you're spending. You just keep playing and playing and more and more and more and more, and without knowing the consequences of what can happen to you later down the line, and which is can be a dangerous thing. But like, it's not about is it like based on the author, it said individual have difficult regular funding. I'm not agree with that. People can regulate. Uh, they don't have a difficult funding. Is that is when it get addicted, it's not fun anymore. It's driving your mental stability, not the stability, mentally just drive to doing, just keep doing it and doing it. I mean, it just get becoming like a bad habit, I would say. It's not easy to have difficult to regular fun things, but um, it also said the key question is American Psychiatric Association one club the update of does not just statistical. They don't have actual evidence, so it's statistical like a survey manual of mental disorder and fifth editions. Ultimately, American Psychiatric Association. Okay, then it include it is a gaming internet gaming disorder. E, um, why they keep saying it's an internet gaming disorder? I don't agree with it's an internet gaming disorder. Instead, it should be said stated as internet gaming addiction, dude. Come on, really? It's so very weird. I can't stop laughing. Uh, uh and there's not sufficient evidence to determine that whether so there is not sufficient evidence to determine whether the condition is unique mental disorder or the best to classify at the time with the DSM-5 was published in 2013. So in 2013 they still not yet to identify the gaming is a kind of like addictions or not. And meanwhile, then say the gaming disorder become a clinically recognizable, clinically significant. It's not okay. In the psychologically, it can be clinically recognizable as a certain type of addiction syndrome, not disorder, my friend. Can be characterized as a disorder. I'm not sure about much about. I didn't learn further into psychology, but far as I know, it should be addictions. Um, Okay, the nature and intensity of a distress signal impairment of personal, family, social education. So, like when you get addicted to a game, so you cultivate it. You basically what happened to you is your emotions, your behavior change a lot. You black block yourself from communicating with family, friends, your education. If you are in a high school, middle school, or any level or college, whatever you are, then when you get addicted to it, your skills level goes down. Like you just don't use the skill that you already have. You just playing games. Like, and what happened is it's also like when you play games, when you look at the screen too much, you get ultraviolet radiated light. They don't have that. I don't know why, because there should be common sense. But you get ultraviolet, radiant lights into your eyes, and it's affect your visions, and then also it's affect your brain as well. Like when you look at it too much and you're not sleeping well, your mind is too much stress. I would say, based on my experience, that's what I have felt when I play too much games, watch too many things. But I got over with that. It's been a while. Not like wow, it's been a couple of years, but I'm getting better at it. Okay, so let's uh let's go get on with that. So not surprising, Entertainment and Software Association pushed back who designated a designation of event formal announcement in 2018. Michael Gallagher, our president of CEO Entertainment, said those who lack transparency deeply for the objective and deeply flawed and lack of objective scientific support. So basically, I think he's saying this Mr. Michael Gallagher, Entertainment Software Association, is saying a weak scientific basis for gaming disorder let us error on this is some like grammatical error, but it's an error on the side of caution. So it's like there's not sufficient evidence to consider really like a certain type of disorder in like should be categorized as a disease. I'm not sure. I don't think it should be categorized as a disease until it's fully analyzed. It should be rather categorized as a certain type of addictions. Also, a while ago you saw this categorized in the eyes of proposal that Dr. Ferguson, among the 36 authors who acknowledged the potential of gaming interfere with the people's lives. Extremely high burden of evidence, clinical utility because there is a genuine risk of abuse of diagnosis. They describe research needed to legitimize the diagnosis. So basically here is saying that it should be further research should be taking place and further test or trial and error test run should be analyzed in order to clarify is it a gaming disorder or not. But it depends on them, and I'm just giving my own opinion about it and giving my own experience from that addiction of not just gaming, literally anything like social media. It's just not that gaming at all. Like social media can be addictive. Like no matter whether you're using Instagram, Facebook, um, watching videos on YouTube, anything can be addictive. Addicting is a bad thing, I would say. One central issue is whether the gaming is a disorder or unto itself a manifestation of form of coping mechanism and self-medication of mental issues such as anxiety. Oh, you do definitely get anxiety, depression, attentional deficit hyperactivity disorder that can be like doing more this like playing games. Neurobiology does not clarify this as a question. According to Michael Correa's PhD, Ferguson co-author opposite the paper and protocol of John. I would say I don't know about much about it too deep into this their research, but I would say it does give you anxiety, depression. Um, you get more. I would say and mentally unstable, lack of sleeps. Um, what else? You lack of focus, lack of paying attention, lack of conscience, lack of understanding. You just lack all those skills, just like I said previously. And also it said the way the study are designed, so we don't have a way to tell the brain changes in the form of you didn't compare to other pleasurable things. So we have to compare sex to drugs instead of comparing sex to some kind of thing that is fulfilling. In that part is kind of like what? I you can you game can be pleasurable, dude. But like it can be categorized, when you get addicted to doing drugs. I don't know about X, but like it can. I don't know much about that, but I know drugs and video games can be correlated in a sense that like when you take too much drug, you addicted to that drug type, certain type of drugs, or if you play certain type of games of that, you get into that certain type of game. What I learned from my addiction was like, don't get addicted. It's not good. It just it's a bad things, and never do it. Don't even try. If you feel like you were trying to get addicted to something, quit that shit. Okay, that's you just don't need it in your life. Do something else better, like something that you're way more comfortable with. I played a couple of months Fortnite. I was kind of addicted. Then I was like, oh snap! It just addicted. I just have to stop. Like, it's been like 2 or 3 years in my experience from getting away from addictions. In my personal experience of playing games in an online world, it's just one of the things that you have to be careful about. A lot of things can happen actually. Dr. Ferguson pointed out the exaggeration of the effect on the brain. It is true that gaming involves anticipatory dopamine release. You see, it's true the gaming releases dopamine. So it does looking forward to going to a trip. I don't having that and eating pizza sound like more omnia than actually is. Dopamine release with associated gaming similar to other activities like cocaine and methamphetamine release 3 or 12 times dopamine respectively. Framing problem addiction is another issue. The addiction paradigm itself. So it's like a, as you know, this is the game is just an addiction. I'm just giving you full review based on the article, and I explain a lot more talk about that. That we read it throughout the article. Is there way? Is there better way to frame problem excessive use of substance? And I will make more videos in the future if you guys want me to. As my channel grow, I will talk about how can you prevent addictions and what can you do to prevent that. What can you do to stay away from it and what should be done to not to get involved, or if you feel like you getting certain type of addiction or doing certain things, you better stay away from it or limit yourself from doing it. Then that's gonna stop. I'm pretty sure that can stop your mentally or mentally to doing that more. As the careers that she and colleagues have advocated, a broader category could encompass, as you know. So, can you guys can hear me, right? Okay. Let me go. We should continue. So border category encompass different behavioral problems when the people definitely can lose control of themselves. With the excessive behavior have a negative impact, it does have a negative impact because I'm not reading and just agree with it. It's just my personal experience. You can have like lose your self-control and you'll have negative activity, like have a negative feeling. You feel like hate for some reason. You feel like no one likes me or the world is ending. It just nuts. You feel like you're going to the top of the building and jump. Like that's how it feel like. If you know, it's like suicide. You got thought. You got the lose control. So that's what happened. Let's that happened. So anyone, it can happen to anyone. So it can be a relationship as well. So many different reasons can have that self-control, negativity feeling. As you know, it's just general understanding. As a Valdez Star Civic, as a MD PhD opposition of paper co-author, associate professor of psychiatry at the University of Sydney in Australia, agreed that noticing the composing referring to having an urge to do a certain activity because you're afraid to stop, there will be negative consequences. Here's one part of this I do agree, like that you have started kind of afraid to stop it. It's not I don't know, but for everyone, for me, well, if you get addicted to playing video games or addicted to something, social media or something else, anything literally basis, it's not that you're afraid to stop it. It just you just can't stop it. Your mind just goes in and you just don't know what's happening. You just like keep doing it, non-stop, and that's not good. It's not that you're afraid. It can be possibly does happen. It's possible 100%, and or I don't know like I can't give you like a right percentage in my mind saying this can be 100% negative consequences because more you do get addicted to doing certain things, and when people cannot continue gaming, they may feel restless, angry, frustrations. This part, restless, angry, and frustration, is thus can happen a psychological symptom, not physically withdraw with the current evidence not so far. For gamer, however, negative consequences does exist in the form of lost status in the game, such as loss of points and reduced ranking. It definitely can. According to presentation of Barbara Craig's, a challenge pediatrician from Walter National Military Center in Bethesda gave at the American Academy a pediatric meeting Gaming disorder is problem describe. Okay, what are you guys gonna read that part? But like, let's move on. Using a addiction as a paradigm is wrong, but it's called for cautions. Mr. Vic is saying with agree with Mr. Carey saying when you cross the boundary between something like it become disorder. It's like I told you, something that because it has implications such as stigma to any psychiatric diagnosis. Which Dr. Starwick told psychiatric advisor he worried about making pathological reason for excessive indulgence in everyday activities such as shopping, sexual activities, and existing diagnoses only face challenge. I don't know if addiction paradigm is right or wrong, but let's move on. There is not much to support for many existing diagnoses, but we struggle to defend some existing diagnosis. Now we are introducing yet another. Yes, it is difficult to defend which is right, which is wrong, which is correct, or which is incorrect actually, and that does not mean the problem level of gaming and other behavior does not exist. It definitely do exist. Boundary distinguish excessive problematic and gaming are not well defended. I don't know, like it can be it can be excessive, it can be problematic in a gaming, like when you do too much. That's why you should not, I repeat, you should not do something excessive. It's not get anything in real life. If you go out of money with excessive, it's not get. If you play too much game, it's not good. If you eat too much, excessive, it's not good for you. If you start a diet, it's not good. Like this, something that you shouldn't, you should be aware or cautious of not doing anything, literally anything excessive. You should keep at a balance, dude. Okay, so supporter recognize the risk too. So even though those who believe gaming disorder should be its own diagnosis as a cognize of the risk, Petrolova and the New York Times that positive consequences of that no. If you guys wanna read it out, you should, but I'm just gonna read the main point because you just can't read everything, right? So issue with the psychiatrist is that too much stigma associated with mental illness before you call, but if you guys really read the whole thing, you can. It's also okay. Let me read a little bit more than you guys have some better understanding. Maybe internet gaming is respond to underlying condition. It could be Dr. Levin said it could be easier to parent a young kid to formulate their trouble in terms of internet gaming instead of maybe sexual gender depressions. If the behavior is leading to significant life problems, children not getting to school, not going to work, spouse is going to live irregular, whether they because of disorder or addiction, is make it treat as the behavior and agree the stigma. This kind of problem can rise like not going to school, you get sick, not going to work, and relationship problems that can happen. And it's like literally any problem in a family can happen, so with the friends as well. Problem remain evident that excessive gaming is it can be spottable, like it can be detectable in a personal level and a social level. Is the gaming should be discussed with the context of the internet technology. We need a way to define the technology related problem, keep up with the changes in society. There really a missed opportunity to get more diverse view of the issue. So if people who do not like be doing come up with the mental health diagnosis, that would be it. Also the symptom vary across a culture. It's cross culture basically. This symptom of addiction is cross culture, not just in the US. It's like all over the world. It's kind of like a problem. It's not well captured by addiction. I kind of disagree with Jeffrey Snodgrass. He said that cultural problem in gaming that is not well captured by the addiction frame. I disagree. It does well capture in addiction, in a category of addiction, certain type of addiction. It does not categorize as a disorder because disorder is way more than that. Disorder is a like a disorder, like a disease. But you get the point if you know what is different between disorder and disease. I go to where data takes me, the very so analysis to analysis. Even though doctors follow the data, he felt he was not the best person to offer full throttle. Yeah, we're not the best to make the decision whether this is right decision or not. But in my personal experience, is not captured by the decision free. I disagree. It does well capture by the decision free, but addiction is dangerous, and no one should be taking that route. It can cause so many problems. So, in my personal level experience, I'm lucky to be getting out of alive in front of any addiction that I faced in my previous past life. It just it is nuts, like literally a nuts. Like gaming addiction can be a nuts. Like only watch too many videos in the YouTube, it can be addiction. I said it, so I'm not gonna say it again, but you got the point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try my best to cover the addictions. Addiction is a certain type of issue that nowadays anything literally. It is too something worrisome, I would say. If you guys like this video, if you guys want to talk about more addiction, about different kind of things, I would like to cover it up, but it's kind of like a psychological statement, I would say. Oh boy, it just so many things can happen, dude. It just feel uneasy, to be honest. I don't feel good at all when I hear these kind of things. But it is a research is the person who did the research, the author of this article, who did the research. He did, it's it's kind of it's bit of well research, I would say, by Tara Hale. So kind of bit of well done with the different sources. I would say okay, it is like psychological. It does fall in the psychological category. It will see in the future. I don't think it should be categorized as disorder disease. It should be categorized as addictions. Let me know what you guys thought in this. The link in the description below. If you guys like this video, give a like and subscribe to your boy channel, and I would really appreciate it. Video is kind of a bit long, but I want to give you full coverage of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later, and have a fantastic day. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.